Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I am joined by these ravishing co-hosts. Wren from Relations and Shitlords Anonymous.
Hello.
And of course, the gorgeous and alluring Ishtar from her own Twitch stream, as well as playing Sarah on Army of Snarkness on Thursdays, right here on Help for the Guildless. How's it going?
Hi.
It's going good. How's it going with you?
It is going. We have people waiting for us already. I feel like we've started late, even though we started on time.
We're always late.
We're not late. We started on time. We just had music. I'm being professional.
That's a first.
Hey. Not only am I being professional, but there's a brand new goal, a donation goal that's going to end in 11 days.
And what's the donation goal?
Well, people have been talking about it, and I thought I'd give it a shot. So, if, and it's a big if $200 can be met in 11 days, Antoine the Great will do an ASMR.
All right, people, pull out your wallets. Let's get this going.
So, let's see who we have here. We have, we have some new names. Ben C is here, and I know why Ben C is here. Bastard.
How is Ben C a bastard?
You know why he's a bastard. We'll show it in a second. Tom Leach, how's it going, Tom? Kaduntress is here. Zah is here. Ray Stone. Alex Martin, Gulf City Overwatch. He says, I love this music choice. Subbed and liked. Thank you very much, sir. We also have Was Blind. I think he's new. How's it going, Was? And Ray Stone is here. And, of course, we have Sparky from Sparky's Tech Corner. And Vess Husband. How's it going, Vess? And Damn Alien. Wow, we have a full house. Jesus.
Yes.
It's like they want
Hi,
to see
everybody.
It's like they want to see the women or something.
Well, they're certainly
Aw.
not here for you.
Of course not. I was
They're here
telling,
for Wren's tits. Let's be honest.
well, I was telling someone the other day that MSNBC is one of my most popular shows because it's got boobs. I mean, there's Wren's boobs, Ishtar's boob. People think Antoine's a boob. So, I mean, you know, it's there.
Well, I'm not showing off my boobs because it's fucking cold outside and the wind is blowing like it's goddamn tornado.
Oh, it's okay. I'm only just the way I am because my house is a sauna with the heat on.
I wish my house was a sauna right now, but I can't afford to pay the electricity bill. Hence my pimp tar blanket.
So,
Yes.
Tom, this is not a Wrenchner state. This is a moderated state. I guess you could say it is under martial law. The only people who get wrenches are me and my co-hosts. That's about it. Everyone else, yes, you are. If you want to be recognized, you see that? Sparky, say something in the chat, goddammit. If you want to be recognized, there is something that you can do. Sparky has this tiny little badge next to his name. You can join the channel, become a member, and you'll get that too. And you'll have a green name, and you'll be recognized as a friend to the channel. So, Tom, go ahead, Red.
And Ray Stone, you totally should make a female Antoine art.
There's
Go for
already been female.
They call her Antoinette.
Yeah, it's already been done.
Antoinette.
Moxley did it first. He actually made Antoinette into a wrestling character.
It was actually
Aw.
pretty good too, the way
Yeah,
he did
it was.
it.
I'm not even gonna lie. She looked hot. So, can't complain.
He did my character Jade too. Nailed the picture.
Mm.
Yeah,
I was impressed.
yeah. She wrestled in a thong, and a
She did
skirt
not
and-
wrestle
and
in a
high heels.
thong. She
flashed-
wrestled in the skirt,
She
hose,
flashed
and
everyone.
heels.
Legs akimbo everywhere. It was horrible. It was horrifying. I mean, she was just slutting it up all over the place.
What stream were you watching?
The same one that I saw you doing that on.
Oh, if someone's asking, is Antoinette different from Catgirl Antoine?
There is no cat girl Antoine, damn alien.
Yet.
No, there is no yet. The answer is no. It's just a no.
You know, the more you tell them no, the more they're gonna do it.
It's like that shiny red button.
Don't
even
push the red button.
you don't push the red button, but you want to. A second someone says, "Don't push the red button."
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Wren, did you want to show why Ben Cooper is here and why he's a bastard?
Ben just paid for a book to be read to you.
Yeah, read to me. That's the problem.
Yeah, he wants this book
God.
read to you.
Okay, I understand why
Show it
Ben
again, Wren. You're on camera.
likes. I understand why Ben likes to have Antoine suffer. My question is, why do I have to suffer? What did I do to you, Ben? I thought you liked me. I'm gonna play Minecraft for you soon.
How's it going,
Hey,
Pastel?
How are you feeling? Are you still alive, or is this your ghost? She keeps making a pretty good attempt at the whole dying thing.
Apparently. So, here's how it's going to go. We're going to start with doing our normal thing. We're going to read some articles. And then... see, damn alien says you're acceptable collateral damage.
God damn it.
And then, what we're going to do is we're going to have the beautiful Wren read one of the worst books ever. Oh, Moxley's here.
Hi, Moxley.
So, alright, we started with Cringe last week, right? I think?
No.
No.
Yes. Possibly.
No,
I'm good.
we started with Florida.
We started with Florida. Well, I guess we should probably start with Cringe then. What do you think? What do you say?
All right. I'll start and be nice to Ishii for the first one. We're going to go with the Bustle article of the very creative Girl Scout.
Oh.
Oh. Apparently you've been asked to turn your volume up.
Me.
Yeah, you.
Alright, I'll turn my volume up. There we go. Volume is up. So you want to do the Bustle article?
Yes, because for once that's not Bustle article, that's horrid. This is a Girl Scout that just found a very creative way of selling cookies.
She did.
And I'm not...
Can't fault her for it.
I have no complaints whatsoever. She photoshopped Jason Momoa onto the Samoas.
They're Momoas.
They're Momoas.
No, that's not Roman Reigns. That's Jason Momoa, you bastard. Alright, this hang up. Am I still pretty quiet? I may have to change that. Hold on.
Funny thing is, he responded to this meme, and Jason Momoa said his favorite's actually the shortbread. But
is that a short joke? Because if it is, we're gonna have to Ishtar's gonna have to have some words with him. She'll have to get on a stepladder to punch him in the knee, but I mean that's about it.
You know what? I am average height for a female, so you can kiss my butt.
No, that's right. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Anti-Hero Broadcast. He is a midget.
Yeah, he's like 4'11".
No, don't lie about it. I already showed a picture of who he is on Twitter. You can go back a couple of days. I think it was Sunday. Anti-Hero and I had a little spat back and forth, and I ended up finding out that he used to work for the WWF under the name Hornswoggle.
You know, I'm trying to be nice about it.
I will, yeah, being nice. I will say though, for this little girl, she's smart. She apparently has sold thousands of Girl Scout boxes of cookies this way.
Moms.
It has Jason Momoa on it.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
the
would
box.
buy them too.
I would buy a box of cookies just to have it after eating all the cookies, cause
Pastel, I am 5 feet 6 inches tall.
I do like Jason Momoa's comment back to this is he loves Girl Scout cookies and he's waiting to get some free ones. Like, thank you for using me for advertising.
Now give me my cookies.
Do I get like 2 boxes of free ones because you sold a couple thousand using my picture?
You know what? That is actually incredibly reasonable.
I wouldn't be shocked if she doesn't like if she did send him a couple free boxes of cookies. Like, here you go.
I would.
So, all right. I know for a fact that Ben C, had 9 boxes of Girl Scout cookies as of Sunday. I don't
God,
know
I
if
could
he's.
go for some Thin Mints.
I know they're delicious. So
I have some in a box on my dining room table.
now
I have a Girl Scout in my family.
is there
God damn it. My younger sister used to sell Girl Scout cookies, and my mom was one of the cookie moms. So every year, her dining room would be filled with like hundreds of boxes of cookies, and it was like the greatest thing ever. Because it was like knowing your own drug dealer. I mean, it was amazing.
Oh, I've already bought 8 boxes off of my daughter.
Can I trade you for booze?
Yes, you can trade me.
So
I can add another bottle of something to the box before I mail it.
I'll take that trade. I'll take that trade.
All right, we'll negotiate after stream.
all right. So is there a specific portion of this you want to read, or do you just want me to show the?
We were just showing it.
Oh, just showing it.
Yeah,
So,
entrepreneurial Girl Scout who found a way of selling cookies in a very, very I want 5 boxes way.
I just want to lick that man. Just saying. Yes.
Is there something you need to talk to Matt about there, Ishtar?
No, I can handle it myself, thanks.
Okay.
Come on, just every woman, whether they're in a relationship or not, can admit if they had a chance of licking or touching Jason Momoa, they would take it.
Hi, Ellie.
How's it going, Allie? I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on Jason Momoa either. But I'm just saying, you there's drooling. It's not cheating if he's Samoan.
Actually, I wonder if you could eat the Girl Scout cookies off his abs.
Oh my goodness.
So instead of doing cocaine off of a hooker's ass, you want to eat cookies off of his abs. All right, that works.
I will.
Do I need to put a "Be Right Back" up sign? Picture. Up.
No.
Isha.
No,
we're good.
Do you need to take a moment?
We're good.
You need to. Ishtar, just wipe the corner of your lip. You're drooling a little.
Shit. My bad.
Alright,
Tire Queen. Her boobs aren't out. We just have the greatest angle ever for a lot of cleavage.
Yes.
Alright, so we're gonna get rid of Jason Momoa. That wasn't necessarily cringe, but definitely something that derails the stream.
It's just a little.
pretty badly. Ishtar, are you composed enough to do your job?
Maybe.
Do you need a minute? Do you want me to do Florida Man instead?
More than a minute, honey. I'm gonna need fresh batteries.
Look,
okay.
Hey, if I'm doing it right, you're gonna need less than a minute, all right? Anyway, do you want to go next, or should I do some Florida Man and give you some time?
No, I can do my best. We'll go with something short and something that'll break the mood real quick. Yes, damn alien, a mop is going to be necessary. Charles Dickens plotted to send his sane wife to an asylum.
Okay.
What?
Yep.
That didn't happen. Don't lie.
This is according to Live Science.
Live Science is
Being
not
married
going
to
load. There we go.
Being married to the Victorian author Charles Dickens was definitely not the best of times. Long-hidden letters reveal that Dickens sought to have his wife, Catherine, forcibly consigned to an institution, a scheme that fell apart when doctors found no evidence of mental illness in the woman. At first, the two were happily married and raised 10 children together. But by the time Charles and Catherine separated in 1858, their relationship was in tatters. John Bowen, a professor of the 19th century literature at the University of York in the United Kingdom, recently uncovered the sordid tale in 98 letters that were kept at Harvard University but never transcribed or analyzed. When Bowen did so, it was a moment that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand up, he said in a statement. The letters were penned by Edward Dutton Cook, a journalist and neighbor of Catherine's following her separation from Charles. Cook addressed them to his friend William Moy Thomas. The conversations between Cook and Catherine took place nearly 20 years after Charles and Catherine separated, and what she revealed was chilling. After 22 years of marriage, Charles began an affair with a young actress and decided that he was tired of his wife, who had given birth to 10 children and had lost many of her good looks, Cook wrote in 1879. She had 10 goddamn kids!
Tom Leach just pointed out something very important. He finds it hard to believe that a woman with 10 children maintained any amount of sanity.
Right?
Tom Leach, different time period. They also were allowed live-in nannies and governesses.
True.
And staff. So it's not like
help.
She was rich. It's on the street. She had 10 kids with a staff. That staff helps keep you sane because you can pawn the kids off on other people.
That's not fair. That's just wrong.
He even tried to shut her up in a lunatic asylum, poor thing, Cook recounted in the same letter. But bad as the law is in regard to proof of insanity, he could not quite wrest it to his purpose, Cook wrote. Scholars have long known that Charles Dickens behaved poorly towards his wife, but the details in Cook's letter are especially damning, Bowen said. This discovery could also explain Charles Dickens's mysterious falling out with Dr. Thomas Harrington Tooke, which occurred around the same time that the author's marriage ended, Bowen said in a statement. Tooke served as the superintendent of Manor House Asylum in Chiswick between 1849 and 1888. It's possible that Tooke refused to go along with Charles's plan to falsely commit Catherine, leading the novelist to later refer to Tooke in letters as a medical donkey and a wretched being, Bowen said. As for Catherine, it was undoubtedly a far, far better thing to be free of her scheming husband in the end.
Well, I mean, again, Tom Leach points out a really good point. Sure, she was rich, she had a staff, but she was still a woman.
There were still things that you could not get away with, even in Victorian times.
Yeah.
Women had very few, if any, rights, but they did still have some rights, and there were people who would advocate for them.
No one needs to advocate for anything. Advocation is bad.
I advocate for Wren removing her shirt.
I don't, because I want to keep my channel.
Oh. Well, fine then, if you're going to be like that.
There's always off air.
There's that.
Okay, so you've heard the saying, swing a dead cat, right? Yeah,
yes.
There's so many so-and-sos here, you could swing a dead cat and hit one. Well,
why would you swing a dead cat? That just seems like a bad idea.
Well, I was going to say, this Florida man found out why it's a bad idea.
Oh?
Yes. I mean, you don't want to swing a dead cat for any reasonable reason. I mean, guts, innards, shite everywhere. But he apparently attempted it with a service dog. Service dog's tail amputated after Central Florida man swings animal authority says.
Someone amputated his damn head.
There is one thing you don't mess with on the internet, and that's kids and animals. Everyone gets pissed off at both of them.
Just remember, it's Florida. Florida is stupid. Florida does very dumb things, and eventually it will go away and be underwater.
We can hope and pray.
So will California. Hopefully. Mainly just Southern California. And San Francisco. San Francisco can fall. Satellite Beach police arrested a man Monday who allegedly abused a dog, resulting in surgery to remove its tail, according to a Facebook post by the Brevard County Sheriff's Office. James Cordell Jesus God, he's got 4 names. James Cordell Doughty Southam. Southam? Say that name, Jesus. Just going to call him James from now on. 37, faces a felony charge of animal cruelty and was taken to Brevard County Jail, where he has a $2,000 bond, according to the Sheriff's Office records. And if you're looking at the stream, ladies, there is a picture.
I'm not looking because I don't like it.
It shows the dog's tail where it was stapled together.
Sorry, Twitter.
James was arrested Monday for his suspected involvement in a February 6th incident regarding an 8-year-old German Shepherd service dog, Titi, said Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey. James was working in a grooming salon in Satellite Beach and giving Titi a haircut. The Facebook post said, when James couldn't get Titi to hold still, he grabbed the dog's tail while swinging the animal off the ground and twisting the tail 360 degrees. He also struck the back of Titi's head with a hose nozzle. If I tell you that it's one of the most difficult things I've ever had to watch in my 39 years of law enforcement because of the horrific and cruel way the pet was treated.
Yeah. Can we veto this man?
Firmly?
It gets better.
Violently.
Titi's owner is a disabled veteran with PTSD. The dog is recovering from the abuse.
Veto this man.
Ivy and Satellite Police Chief Jeff Pearson personally escorted James into his own jail cell.
Did he trip a lot on stairs?
You know what? It doesn't say that he tripped a lot, but I have it on good suspicion that they probably, he probably had some extra bruises that had Nike ingrained on them.
I hope so. I vote veto this man.
Firmly.
We veto the man.
Put an F in the chat to pay your respects for TT, and put a 1 in the chat if you want to see the man vetoed. Sarah's already hitting it up with the F and the 1.
Yeah.
How's it going, Cinder Shadow? Yes, now the dog has PTSD. Alright. Let's move on to some cringe there, Wren, darling.
By the way, did you see Twitter there, Antoine?
No, I have not checked Twitter. I will. Just a second.
That was the badly timed laugh.
Gotcha. God damn it, Ray.
Raystone did a thing.
God damn it, Ray. Why?
What happened?
You're tagged in it. Look at Twitter.
Hold on.
Why would you do that? I thought we were friends, Ray.
Why would you think that?
Because I see him, I see him in the chat all the time. I thought we were friends. Alright.
Yeah, he says, "God damn it, Ray has said to him so many times it might as well be his real name."
Not
Like
wrong.
It's like that old Bill Cosby routine. God damn it, get in here. But Dad, I'm Jesus Christ.
Alright, I will.
Ah, look how cute you are.
I will share it with everyone so they can
Look
see.
at you.
He's so cute.
Oh, God. I hate
Now you just need to be like a
It looks
kitten
less
version of.
cat girl and more, just cat boy, but still so cute.
But can you imagine if someone drew him as like a little cat boy kitten with like playing with some yarn?
Oh God, that would be adorable.
That'd be so cute.
He says the second most common thing said to him is, "Ray, you know that line you shouldn't cross? That was that line back there."
See, Can you imagine just a cuter version, like a kitten version of that, playing with some yarn? I actually want that picture now. I wonder if we can get Auntie to draw it.
He's actually got quite a few commissions right now, so you may actually have to wait.
I will find a way of getting little kitten Antoine.
Little kitten.
Little kitten Twan.
Does not need to actually happen.
Kitten Twan needs to happen. But kitten Twan with a little play with like a little ball of yarn. It so needs to happen.
It's so cute. It would just. The thing with kittens is you just want to cuddle them close to your chest.
Yeah.
Where it's warm and soft.
And then you get the little purrs, and they're so cute. And come on. And Allie agrees with us and has decided this needs to be your new avatar pick.
No, it's not going to be my new avatar pick. I don't care what anyone says. So, just real quick, folks. There are 14 of us watching. They got to see Captwan, I guess you could say. Hit that like button. Share us around. Let people know that we're here.
Yes.
And let them know that Wren is showing off the girls. It's very important. Very, very important.
Yes. Yeah, such as cringe time. And speaking of yarn.
Oh, no. You're going to... No. Oh.
Yes. Yes.
All right. It's stupid. It's absolutely fucking stupid. This is not a thing. I don't know how people think this is a thing. This is not a thing. Look, there you go, Ishtar. It's your dream closet. All of that yarn.
The knitting community is reckoning with racism.
Question.
Yes.
As I'm sitting here holding a crochet hook with yarn in my lap.
Yes.
How the fuck is knitting racist?
You racist bitch. How dare you sit there and crochet when there are people who are slaves that are still wearing wool? I don't know. How the fuck is knitting racist?
I don't know. I grabbed the article because the headline.
Read.
Karen Templar's Fringe Association Company is kind of like Goop for knitting.
Oh god.
There's tips and how-tos to navigate knitting's trickiest maneuvers. There are knit-alongs for chunky cowls and cute fingerless gloves. There's an online store that sells fringe bags, which has come to be known in some circles as the Birkin of knitting bags. And there's a blog where Templar puts her personal thoughts.
What the fuck is a Birkin?
A very, very expensive bag.
Okay, so Wren, did you watch my last video?
Yes. Which one? I've watched a couple of them.
The chubby chasing one.
Oh yes, I watched that one.
Okay, so there was a term that I didn't quite understand, and since I have you two lovely ladies here, and there are some women in the chat, what the hell is a Fenty?
A Fenty.
No idea.
I don't know either.
Can someone tell me what it is? I don't have the backing that Philip DeFranco has for hiring people.
I would have to Google that, but maybe it's a brand of something?
Allie says it's a makeup brand.
Oh, Fenty Beauty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was like a flannel panty or something like that.
No, it's I think that's Rihanna's brand of makeup.
Oh, so it's racist. Okay. As long as we know. I mean, we're talking
I watched some makeup channels. I think I've heard Fenty Beauty before. I've never bought the brand, nor do I know what it's like, so.
All right.
I know it's expensive.
So what is a Birkin?
A Birkin is a type of bag. A very expensive handbag.
Do you have to go out and kill the cow yourself?
No, but it's still spendy. Think like the type of handbags that can run you like $1,000+.
Is it made of gold?
No,
No.
ever pay that much for anything unless, it's
Does it come with a
Quality.
utility belt?
Nope.
Do you get a small ward that helps you fight crime?
Nope.
Then why the hell are you paying over $1,000 for a handbag?
People pay that much because of designer name.
How many people bought that stupid plain white t-shirt?
Oh, was it the one that Kanye West put out that was like $1,000? Like, it was a couple $100 for like a white T-shirt.
Basically.
It's just a white t-shirt.
Yes,
And it was $1,000.
I think it was like
Yes.
a couple hundred. Yeah.
You can go to Walmart to get yourself a pack of 12 for $30.
See, Antoine, you're thinking logically. You're not thinking what stupid
Fashion.
style people. Fashion people think differently.
I want off this planet.
No,
No.
you're stuck here. You did this to yourself, too.
Alright, let's read about more
Yes.
racist knitting.
On January 7th, she blogged excitedly about her upcoming trip to India. She wrote that 2019 would be her year of color. As she said that as a child, India had fascinated her, and that when an Indian friend's parents offered to take her with them on a trip, it was like being offered a seat on a flight to Mars. She spoke of her trip as if it were the biggest hurdle anyone could jump. If I can go to India, I can do anything. I'm pretty sure Templar, it should be noted, is white.
You didn't say that right. It's white. You have to.
White.
You have to put the emphasis on that, so people know that they're a racist white person.
Yes, white. As someone who is mixed race Indian, to me, her post, though seemingly well-meaning, was like bingo for every conversation a white person has ever had with me about their fascination with my dad's home country. It was just so colorful and complex and inspiring. It's not that they were wrong, per se, just that the tone felt like they thought India only existed to be all those things for them. So,
What?
So
So they're bitching and moaning already because somebody was excited that they're going to India?
yes,
does she know that 56% of the population of India shit in the street?
I don't think she knows that.
So for someone to be happy to wanting to go there, maybe she should shut her trap.
It gets worse. The initial comments on Templar's blog post were supportive, but quickly knitters and fans began to criticize her tone. Karen, I'd like you to reread what you wrote and think about how your words feed into a colonial/imperialist mindset towards India and other non-Western countries, wrote commenter Alex. Multiple times you compare the idea of going to India to the idea of going to another planet. How do you think a person from India would feel to hear that?
She's excited about a new thing, a new place with a culture she doesn't know. So, yeah, she's going to an alien place. You know what? If I go to Chicago, it's an alien place to me because I have never been to Chicago.
If you go to Chicago, you're white, you're gonna get raped.
Only in the South Side.
She says only in Southside.
I lived there most. As long as you avoid Inglewood and a couple other areas, you're safe.
My point being that if you're going someplace new, it's an alien place to you. Therefore, it still counts. There's nothing wrong with it. You dumb fucks.
So I had to step away because I had to go get my cannon blast because this article is starting to get me
Just wait.
You know, the way you say that is very The Shining sing-song.
It doesn't make me feel any better.
La, la. You know, that's just, no.
Templar has since apologized for her post, writing, "It took women of color pointing out this for me to see it, which is not their responsibility, and I am thankful for them taking the time, and that she'd be continuing to raise visibility of people of color, specifically Black, Indigenous POC, knitters, and their work." Templar declined to comment for this piece, and her post triggered a wave.
She didn't do anything wrong.
Ishtar,
Why
darling.
is she apologizing?
Ishtar, darling. You're thinking logically.
Stop thinking logically.
This is about racism. Everything is racist. She's excited about meeting other people from a different culture. Because she's white, she's automatically a racist. Because white people don't have culture, so we appropriate everyone else's.
You know what? Fuck them and fuck their attempts to ruin this nice person's perfectly exciting situation. You know what? They can kiss my ass.
Don't
But-
give them a bonus.
Yes. But her post triggered a wave of conversation about racism and prejudice in the fiber arts world.
What?
Racism and prejudice in the fiber arts world.
Are you fucking kidding me? This is some goddamn bullshit. That's what this is. There's no reason for discussion of racism and prejudice in knitting. It's knitting. Yes, Ishtar is not an old woman, but she does a very passive hobby. It's not like she's out there knitting a fucking clan hood.
You want to know what I'm doing right now? I'm not even knitting. I'm crocheting. You see? This is the rug I'm working on. Oh my god. I am a racist bitch.
Well,
You know
you are
what?
using mostly
You
white.
can... What?
You are using mostly white.
No, I'm not. It's an oatmeal color.
Are you saying white people are the color of oatmeal?
No, that color of that yarn is oatmeal. I can see it. It's kind of an off beigey.
It's
color.
a beige color with black and brown threads worked in and red as the accent color.
So you're saying that the indigenous
Don't
Indian
even
people...
start with me, you black son of a bitch. I will come in there with my knitting needle. So you see how thick this is? I will shove it up your urethra.
Wren, I think
Yes?
you did something you didn't know you were gonna do, because I think you thought you were gonna trigger me with this.
I think I did.
But Ishtar, we got a little Piptar rage.
Pimp
You know
Tari.
what? You know what? Okay,
Blame box.
crochet, knitting, sewing, cross stitch. These are some of the most unifying arts that I have ever come across, because you can sit around and talk to people and share tips while you're doing it. I belonged to a group when I lived in North Carolina called Stitch and Bitch. It was a group of women of all ages who had, they loved cross stitch. So they got together and they talked, and we talked about our lives, and we made friends. I still talk to those women. I miss Stitch and Bitch so badly.
So, Ray Stone...
So the bullshit about this being racist is just utter nonsense.
I just want to let you know I can hear her going off from the other room. So Ray Stone says they
Fuck
want...
off, Tom Leach.
Ray Stone says they want to weave together the narrative that connecting fabric is racist. They are trying to knit together the story that they are but they are leaving out black folk picking cotton.
Aw.
You can go jump off a goddamn cliff.
White with red accents, those are skinhead colors.
Yeah, I
Oh.
told him to fuck off.
All right. Social media also makes pointing out racism easier than ever. For
No,
weeks,
It
POC...
makes it easier to pick out people looking for racism, who are inherently racist because they're looking for it.
For weeks, POC knitters have used Instagram and specifically Instagram stories to share their observations, tag other knitters, and conduct polls about others' experiences with racism in the community. Hundreds of people of color have shared stories of being ignored in knitting stores, having white knitters assume they were poor or complete amateurs, or flat out saying they didn't think blacks or Asian people knit.
Okay, I want to put... I used to work at a Michael's, okay? Back by the knitting section. There is... Jesus Christ. Everyone knits. There's no racism. And we're talking a lot of people do this hobby.
Male, female, white, black, Asian, Native American.
Thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
Out of that, a couple of hundred POCs have an issue. So we're talking a very, very small percentage.
Yes.
They can, yeah, they
I
can
now
go.
want to learn knitting just so I could, tell them to fuck off.
Well, I did see you cross-stitching a, the Southern Pride flag, so...
That was a gift for somebody. Don't even start with me. I was being
Yeah,
nice.
but you
that's
put
what
in
they
a
want.
hood with it.
That is what they asked for.
And a bunch of matches?
Yeah, so they can burn the hood later.
Oh, I thought it was for a cross burning.
No, don't be racist.
We don't have to read the rest of the article because it just talks about what we can do from here.
You know what we can do?
What?
You know what we can do? We can all sit down and fucking tell them to leave us alone so that we can enjoy our goddamn yarn and thread.
Yes.
It is creative. It is relaxing. It makes beautiful, useful things.
Yes. Well, I'll read the last two paragraphs because this was one of the ways these knitters are moving forward is with the unfinished object, a blog by Moen, Rose, Wu, and Farrow that aims to explore how diversity becomes inclusive, how representation morphs into change, and how we can serve our joy while being meaningfully represented in our truths, in the fiber world and beyond.
Oh, fuck this over-inflated ego, self-aggrandizing, virtue-signaling bullshit.
Yes. Perhaps the biggest change is how knitters of color will use a tool like Instagram from now on. I cannot just mindlessly scroll anymore, said Wu.
Knitters of color.
Knitters of color.
Oh.
But Wu also says the most promising aspect is that they're not the center of the conversation anymore. We've been exhausted, but seeing it spark up again, seeing new voices, new coalitions sort of forming, that was like, oh, this is great.
That's adorable, Raysta.
You want to say what, Ali?
But I'm so white. But yes, apparently now they're attacking knitters. Knitters of color are going after white knitters.
This is just... Oh, Ali. She
Oh, Allie, are you taking over Moxley's job?
That one was pretty good, Allie. Shame on you, but that was pretty good. Excellent wordplay.
Very much. The K is silent, of course.
Witters.
So, this is just proof, right? I don't use the term social justice warrior that much anymore because it encompasses a lot. But I think we have to say, Ray. Social justice. These SJWs, it is perfect. That meme that everybody has seen on Twitter. Everything I don't like is racist. This is a perfect example of it. Knitting, one of the most benign hobbies one could have. is suddenly filled with controversy because of racism.
Because one woman wanted to go to India.
Because one woman wanted to go to India, wanted to experience a different culture. Oh, and had the balls to be excited about it. You know, spending the thousands of dollars it's going to take to go there.
But her wording, though. Her wording, though.
Oh, yeah, her wording can... Look, offense is taken, never given. God damn it, these fucking asshole motherfuckers.
I just like how they call it the fiber...
crocheting here.
I just like how they call it the fiber world. Like, that's
it is actually called fiber arts. Everything from sewing, quilting, all the way up through even making the yarn itself is considered fiber arts.
Okay.
Can we point out that she said she was happy about POC knitting coalitions forming?
Jesus.
What's next? The Black Panther Party in the knitting world?
But if they only sit in someone's living room, start and knit, man, we could just leave them be.
But, you know what? Most knitters, that's all they want.
So, Ray brings up a good point. Are the POC knitters, the POC knitting coalitions, are they mad because they think the white people want them to go pick their own cotton to make their own wool?
You know, there are some artisanal people who will actually go and do it by hand. They are insanely dedicated and make small lots of things.
Thank you very much, Sparky.
What'd Sparky do?
You Sparkied the joke.
Oh. You're welcome. But no, people are really that insane. Crafters are nuts like that. You will never get me to do it, but...
I agree with Zerg. The left sees a white person enjoying something and they have to try and ruin it. It's their entire existence at this point. You're not wrong, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I refuse to be guilty or take on guilt for something I didn't do just because I happen to have been born white. Not just white, middle class white.
But that means you're bad inherently because you have privilege somehow. I don't know where this privilege is.
I've got enough of my own shit to feel guilty about. I don't want to take on anyone else's problems.
I'm not saying you should either. I'm just saying they say that apparently people like us and families like mine have privilege somehow. I don't know where this privilege is, but it apparently exists.
How's that privilege working for you as you're trying to get shit done and take care of your family?
Look, Sean King, white Malcolm X, he says that he believes that a homeless white man has more power and more privilege than a black woman. A non-homeless black woman. A black woman who, is part of the 1%. That homeless white man still has, more power and privilege.
Also, there's supposedly patriarchy checks. By the way, Antoine, have you gotten your patriarchy check?
No, look, I told you. What was it? I'm going to be 38. That's 38 years. So 38 times 12. That's a lot of checks. Yeah, shut up. 38 times 12, that's a lot of patriarchy checks that I never got.
Hey, it just means he's joining the lecherous old man club.
Well, he's definitely lecherous. How was your bath?
I've been taking showers recently, and they're good.
Oh,
I lost my bathtub, remember?
That's right.
Well, so
Sarah will be happy to hear that, Wren.
Hey.
Well, all of us do have some form of privilege, right? I guess you could say.
I have the privilege to flip them off for trying to ruin a perfectly innocent hobby.
Well, I mean, you had the privilege as a child to get the good school lunches, right?
No, my mom more or less made my lunches. PB&J was a frequent.
So you were not.
I still eat PB&J for lunch.
You were not blessed with the Lunchable?
I got the Lunchable
only as very rare treats.
But you had them.
You know,
Finally ran out of that sky.
I got peanut butter sandwiches as a kid.
Peanut butter was good. Peanut butter and honey was good too.
No honey, no nothing, just peanut butter.
Not even any bananas?
Nope.
Ew.
Peanut butter and banana sandwiches are delicious. You shush.
I got
Yeah,
peanut butter
banana
on
it.
bread. I got peanut butter on bread.
Well, but you guys did get to sample Lunchables at, rare treats, right?
Rare treats, yes.
If I've been really, really good.
So, were you
And they
ever
were
really...
on sale.
Were you ever really, really hyperactive after it? Maybe thinking that... The teachers thinking that maybe you had gotten a hold of some cocaine or something?
No.
No? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Positive on that one.
Well, apparently this Florida man was arrested with cocaine-stuffed Lunchables.
Can I have those? Can we? Those Lunchables have got to be worth a lot of money.
Probably. Go ahead and add this one to Florida Man Files. The Florida Man Files. 2 Florida men were arrested in Ohio in possession of $84,000 worth of cocaine, stowed safely away inside a couple of Lunchable boxes. The Drive reports that the Ohio State Highway Patrol pulled over a rented Ford F-150 because it was cruising down the Ohio Turnpike in a dangerous manner, the report notes. Excessive speed and aggressive lane changes. A particularly bad idea given the excessive amounts of cocaine and aggressively dumb hiding place.
I don't know about you guys, but if I'm going to be, drugs, I'm going to be driving like my grandmother.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be driving like following every letter of the law.
Everything to not draw attention.
After ordering the driver to exit the vehicle, the police confiscated a semi-automatic handgun, then searched the truck. That's when they found a pair of, per the Drive, suspiciously heavy boxes of Lunchables, which, when opened, did not reveal trays of luncheon meat, crackers, and corn syrup. Instead, it was just Coke. Oh, how I wish I could tell you the Coke was stuffed into little Lunchable cubbies, but alas, no, just Coke. $84,000 worth of Coke in Lunchable boxes. Questions. Did they eat the Lunchables? And why Lunchables?
Probably because square box that they thought would be overlooked.
Did they even have them in like a cooler? Because
No.
Lunchables got to be refrigerated.
Well,
Yeah.
as this journalist says, I guess that's all my questions, actually. In related news, a Florida man fought off a coyote with a coffee mug. Happy Thursday.
Coffee mug.
Not just coffee. Coffee.
Man, I wanted some coffee.
I remember
so
the
bad
Lunchable.
today.
Do you want
God,
to know about the man that fought off the coyote with the coffee mug?
Yes. I really wanted like a mint mocha frappuccino from Starbucks so badly.
Oh, don't mention Starbucks.
I live in Seattle, home of Starbucks.
Don't mention it because I can't. Ooh, maybe Saturday I'll go to Starbucks. I think I need to.
Celebrate a little.
Yes.
Still kind of want the frappuccino.
Oh.
Antoine, go get me a frappuccino.
No.
Oh no! You know what's even better? The really chocolatey frappuccino. I love that one.
So, I just so happened to have that article ready, because I thought it would be entertaining. I didn't know the two of them were connected.
Well, aren't you special?
Florida man saves dog, fends off aggressive coyote attack with a coffee cup. Lake County, Florida.
Is this man Vin Diesel?
What?
Is this man Vin Diesel?
He is bald, but he's white.
So's Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel is not white.
White.
He's a very white-looking man.
A Florida man says he did what he had to do to protect himself and his dog when faced with an overly aggressive coyote. Ben Poole said he hears coyotes around his neighborhood often, but he rarely sees them. Last Friday, however, he found his dog face to face with a coyote, preparing to fight. Poole was able to get the two animals apart before the coyote attacked. He then used the coffee cup he was holding to defend himself. He came at my legs first. I smashed him in the side of the head with the cup. He came back, and I smashed him again. He jumped up at my face. When he did that, I stepped to the side, hit him in the side of the head. He screamed and went down, Poole said. Poole managed to get him and the dog up the street and home, but he says the coyote was relentless. It was extremely aggressive. It did not respond to anything I had ever heard, like making noise. The more I did that, the madder it got, and the madder it came at me, because it had rabies. Desperate, Poole got a gun and climbed in his truck. I was going to shoot it out the window, because I didn't want to get out and fight it again. And when I did, it jumped up at the window of the truck. I rolled the window down, backed up, went 3 or 4 times at it, and finally ran it over. No regrets. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. I'm not going to shoot you, you fucking thing. I'm just going to run you over.
Hey, that's one way of dealing with it.
That's when you're pretty much done with that thing.
The coyote was killed, but Poole fears the coyote population is only going to get larger, and this issue will get more complicated. He wants more support from state and local officials. Here's what you do, Ben. You just let the coyotes and the crocodiles face each other off and see who wins. If I had been bitten, everyone would have been here in a heartbeat doing something. But since I wasn't bitten, nobody was going to come along and do anything. Poole's dog will be getting frequent checkups to make sure rabies is not an issue. The man himself does not face any legal repercussions from Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission for the action he took to kill the coyote. Because if they tried to sue him, all of Florida would basically mob them.
Well, yeah.
However, state wildlife officers suggest people with coyote problems hunt them on private property or have them trapped. Or, just hit them with a car.
Run them over. Works just as well.
I can see him taking his car to the mechanic. I almost said vet. To the mechanic, going, how'd you get this big dent? Oh, I ran over a coyote. Okay.
Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to read one last science article.
But I have so many of them.
And then we have to deal with Tess Holiday.
Oh. I mean, I've got like 5 of them to read.
Yeah, we can save them for next week.
Alright, what one's one of the ones in the title?
There is none in the title.
None of my science articles are in the title?
The title is Tess Holiday. Damn it.
Oh, you changed it then.
I did.
What was it? That's not nice.
You want to do the fusion.
Right. Wren, you need to be careful what you give your kids, because a 12-year-old built a fusion reactor in his playroom.
That's one smart kid. How?
A 12-year-old kid from Tennessee created a nuclear reaction in his family.
Wait, before you start. So, Ray Stone says they wanted to rename a holiday after Tess Holiday, but Earth Day wasn't big enough for her.
Oh.
Alright, continue on.
A 12-year-old kid from Tennessee created a nuclear reaction in his family's playroom in January 2018, according to The Guardian. That makes him the youngest known person to have done so. The open source Fuser Research Consortium, a group of nuclear hobbyists, recognized Jackson Oswald's achievement on February 2nd, according to a report by Commercial Appeal, a USA Today affiliate.
Wait, nuclear hobbyists? That sounds like the worst idea ever.
I know.
Hey, they just have a hobby. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, except when it gets out of control, and then it's a big enough deal for everyone.
Oswald, now 14, built a machine that generates a plasma in which nuclear fusion occurs, not splitting an atom, but rather crushing atoms together to form heavier atoms. So to answer the obvious question, yes, nuclear reactions are things you can do at home. Life Science has previously reported on nuclear startups who have gotten going as hobbyist projects, and there are more people who make fusion purely for the fun of it.
For the fun of it?
Yes, and these efforts almost always involve fusion rather than fission, which is splitting atoms. Fission requires very heavy, tightly controlled substances like uranium. Fusion typically involves the ultralight isotopes of hydrogen, such as deuterium, which are easier to acquire. When two light atoms fuse, the resulting heavier atom is a bit lighter than the two that formed it, resulting in extra mass that gets released as energy. Achieving fusion at home doesn't mean that Oswald or any other hobbyist has built a nuclear reactor that could actually generate more power than it takes to turn on. That's a trick no one, not even the Department of Energy, has yet to accomplish. And hobbyist reactors like this, while they do produce some radiation, produce fusion on far too tiny a scale to be seriously dangerous to anyone not in their immediate vicinity. Oswald's device could not be repurposed as a bomb. That said, Fuser.net's FAQ does include warnings that improperly shielded fusion reactions can be deadly. The basic principle of fusers like this is that they use magnets to suspend isotopes of hydrogen gas in a vacuum, then pump a ton of electricity in to superheat it until the atoms start to fuse into helium. To prove that fusion has occurred, Oswald needed to show that neutrons, which get released during the process of fusion, has been produced. The Guardian reported that Oswald's reactor required 50,000 volts of electricity and involved $10,000 worth of equipment.
Who gave a 12-year-old $10,000 worth of equipment?
I don't know, but Sparky says he likes this kid, and I'll say one thing for those parents. They never had to pay for college.
Betsy says, "Sweetheart, why is our son glowing like an alien?"
Well, you remember his Christmas gift, darling?
Oh, yeah. Wonder whatever... Is that why we had a power out?
Yeah.
You found the white privilege and the patriarchy checks. Where are they? Because mine are very, very late. And I could use them.
Zerg goes, I almost made one in high school, but the budget wasn't quite there. Zerg, how do you know he overpaid for the equipment?
Zerg, what do you have in your basement?
No, actually, he's 14 now, Raystone.
He's 14 now, and his parents are probably going, wait, they've recognized this? Well, can we say hello, free college?
Yeah, that's what that is.
I mean, can you imagine reading that on somebody's college application? And when I was 14, I created nuclear fusion in the living room.
MIT is already going, hey, kid.
You want a scholarship, kid?
Do you need a scholarship? We'll give you a full ride. Come here. Get in the door.
Zerg says it can be done for 1,500-ish.
His parents are like, son, why does the Emir of Abu Dhabi keep writing you letters? All right.
Son, why is MIT people just shown up on our doorstep? No reason.
So, while you get ready to read this damn book, I'm going to go get more alcohol because I'm going to need it.
Can't believe that we're reading this fucking book.
Did you want some, Ishtar?
Yes.
You still probably want it. This is just
shot it, please.
You want
just
rum shorter?
Please, just a small glass.
Just so everyone knows, the book we're reading is Tess Holiday, The Not So Subtle Art of Being a Fat Girl.
You're right, it's not subtle.
No, it's not. Oh, that's true, Benzie. If that kid did it right, he could basically get rid of his parents' electric bill. And then you're very, very happy with the kid. Because there goes any electricity bill.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait till he's back. 'Cause it's no fun reading this without him reacting. Sparky, there's lots of weird 1980s movies. 1980s just kind of created a bunch of weird what the fuck movies.
Ben C says get enough alcohol because you apparently need. I'm sorry. Get enough alcohol is you need. Apparently, Tess Holiday requires a lot for you to drink. Ben, try punctuation and actually being coherent. Stop drinking. Salut.
Oh, I think I'm pretty much out of my vodka, so I'm pretty much out of liquor.
I'm gonna send you some horchata cream liqueur.
If we'll do a trade, we'll talk about what cookies you want. All right.
And the lemon ones.
Lemon ones are good.
They really are.
Have you tried the s'mores cookies yet?
I'm not a huge fan of s'mores, just in general, so no, I haven't.
Oh. We'll say it's just enough graham cracker and marshmallow, not be too much.
Nice.
Is he taking forever just so he doesn't have to hear this?
No, he was waylaid by a Kadunt and is currently begging for her to just end it. And she's just kind of looking at him like, what kind of merciful bitch do you think I am? Piss off. It's really quite entertaining to watch.
Don't worry, Ben. You'll get your reading. We're just waiting for the...
Alright, I'm here.
Yay! You came back.
I almost didn't. Almost ran.
Yeah, I heard you and begging Kadant to put you out of your misery.
Alright.
Alright, let's start. I'll be nice. We'll skip chapter 1 as her sob story.
No, you... What?
No, I want to start this one. This one's called Bible Belt. Size extra large.
I'm not gonna like any of this.
You never like any of this. This is why we get paid to do this to you. Thank Ben C. He paid for me to inflict this on you. When I look back to my tween years, it's clear I already had my own unique sense of style and identity. Brightly colored t-shirts covered in smiley faces were the shit for me. I loved everything 1990s and hung around in baggy jeans and customized band tees. I was really into acrylic dresses, a la Baby Spice.
Yeah,
which
the only reason you wore baggy jeans and tees is because it's the only thing that would fucking fit. Sorry.
Which I accessorize with tattoo chokers and charm bracelets. I cringe a little at seeing most of these trends return, but you can pry my chokers from my cold, dead, chunky hands. At 10,
I wear chokers. I like them.
I don't like anything tight on my neck. That's a me thing, though. Like, if anything's too tight on my neck, I feel like I'm being choked.
See, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
In some situations, it's not a bad thing at all. Just day to day, I'm weird that way. At 10, I had exactly the same attitude towards clothes I have now. If I like it, I'm going to wear it. There's no rules. I've always expressed myself through fashion and did my own thing. Oh, and here's her life advice. They're numbered. Fashion doesn't have to be serious. Don't be afraid to express yourself.
I'm going to say it again because I said it in the last video. That whole sexy at any size thing doesn't mean any size. There is a size that it stops. Most of the time, when people start throwing harpoons at you, it's stopped.
Ray Stone, that's horrible. I like lots of things in life, the fundamental knowledge of how to be was already there inside me. All I had to do was answer the question from my heart. What makes you happy? What do you want to do? What do you really want to wear? Why would you want to be like everyone else? Deep down, I knew it was way more fun to stand out than fit in. It shows that you have something to say and gives you your own perspective of the world. I saw that odd little girl now. If I saw that odd little girl now, I'd give her a hug and a high five. I wish she had held on to the attitude of the freewheeling attitude towards life. But I feel like somewhere around 10 or 11, children switched to high alert to single out the misfits. School tribes are formed with the cool kids ruling the roost, and a cruel hierarchy that labels anyone awkward or different is the class loser.
Ain't that the truth?
Ray Stone says, when you start demanding that people bring Captain Solo and the Wookiee to you, that means you've passed that size limit.
When I enrolled in an elementary school in Laurel in 1995, I was already feeling emotionally battered and bruised. My family had just been through hell, and all I wanted was to blend into the background. For most of my life, I've been the new kid, arriving in different towns, seemingly at my father's whim, and having to join a new school and class. And at every school, the teacher would introduce me, and a sea of faces would examine me quizzically. I knew I would have that moment and feeling uncomfortable in my skin, not knowing what to do with my arms or where to look. Mostly I'd gaze at the floor and shuffle to my assigned desk. That was just the way it was. 'Cause everyone is awkward at new school. Way it goes. Though there would be familiar stress of finding my locker in the restrooms and knowing where to sit in the school cafeteria. I hated that feeling. Going through this time and time again didn't make me any more accomplished at making friends. I dreaded putting myself out there and hoping someone would befriend me. To this day, I still find it hard to let new people in. The reality was that even if I didn't make new friends, we were always moving, and I would rarely get to see them again. I often wondered what my childhood would have been like if I had Skype or Facebook. Perhaps leaving friends behind would be easier, the distance and isolation less harsh with modern technology to bridge the gap.
Speaking of harsh, Ray Stone says, one time Tess Holiday tried to run a marathon. She stopped after 20 feet, but several sailors got lost trying to cross the pools of sweat that accumulated in her folds.
Oh.
They sent out search parties. No one came back alive.
Ah, it's horrible.
Ew.
My mom, being kind, always did her best to stay in touch with the bunch of misfits I'd managed to collect as friends. She would exchange information with the other mothers and tried to keep up with the comings and goings of the families. One day, when I was 7, I arrived home from school in Navarre, Florida, to find Mandy, my best friend, waiting for me in my bedroom. My mom had arranged for her to travel 5 hours from Ocala, Florida, to visit us, along with Jeremy, a friend of my brother's.
This all makes sense. She's part of the Florida man thing.
Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm.
That day, I was caught up with as I caught up with Mandy. It felt like I'd won the lottery. Mom took us to see the Easter Bunny, and I can remember vividly how happy I felt. I still treasure the photo of Mandy and me sitting on his knee, and almost breaking the Easter Bunny's knee too. I added that bit in. so bad, Antoine.
No, he's laughing at Ray Stone, who says Tess Holiday has to keep moving. Physics tells us that if she stops moving, she will deorbit into the sun.
Ah. Oh.
Sorry, continue on.
Whenever I recall that special day, it is a reminder to make memories with my son. I will always think, is this the thing he's always going to remember? How can I make the best memory possible?
Wait, she has a kid?
She has a couple. She has 2.
Ah!
She's married.
You know what? I am
no proof
just
of that.
tired enough. I am just tired enough that this alcohol is working really quickly. My nose is already starting to go numb.
Oh, sorry, 1 kid. She only
And
has
it's
1 kid.
making it so much easier to digest this book.
That is good. That is good. No child, not Moon, Raystone. Just a child.
He does need to make sure.
When we arrived back in my birthplace of Laurel, I hoped my new girl days were over. Ever since the attack, my mom had relied on her parents for help, so we moved into my grandparents' tiny 2-bedroom house on their 25-acre homestead. The land had been passed down from my maternal great-grandparents and had once been a working farm with horses, cows, and huge garden crops. My grandfather, or Papa as I called him, kept up a small garden growing peas, butter beans, corn, okra, tomatoes, squash, cucumbers, and eggplants. But now the land was mostly consists of field left to pasture. There was also a small pond filled with giant catfish and a log cabin for camping. Even in the tightest knit family, 5 people living on top of each other and sharing 1 bathroom was not going to work long term. So my grandfather purchased a single wide trailer from a friend. He also bought Mom a battered old Ford to get around. He set the trailer in the middle of a cow pasture, a few minutes' walk from the farmhouse, and we furnished it with donations from the local church or family. So she lived in a trailer.
Color me shocked. She used to live in a trailer. You know, if you told me she had dieted since the age of 14, I'd be actually surprised.
Nope. She spent a lot of time in Florida, and she lived in a trailer. We're not shocked by her upbringing at all. As trailers went, it was not bad at all. The 3 of us had bedrooms each and 2 bathrooms. There was a box air conditioning unit attached to the window to keep us cool, and fans in our room. Living in the middle of the field meant that although it was nice to be close to nature, the occasional mouse or cockroach liked to visit. It was a simple, cozy time in our lives. I loved picking honeysuckle and pulling the stems that held the petals together, and then sucking out the nectar. As dusk fell over the neighboring woods, I would watch the fireflies as they produced tiny, frenetic sparks of fluorescent green. They were so magical, dancing in the warm evening air. Tad and I would catch them in jars and took a look at them. You kind of take them for granted until you live somewhere that doesn't have them. I would visit my grandparents' house every single day, salivating as my grandma, or mama, as we called her, rustled up southern home-style delights, chicken and dumplings with butter beans, sweet potatoes and dinner rolls, carb-heavy, buttery comfort foods. Those meals always felt like a hug, and I'm sure they contributed, in no small part, to both my ongoing love of food and my ample ass.
That wasn't so much of a hug as it was basically a group. You know, a hug is something you find warm and inviting. You know, I understand. What's the term? Comfort food. I understand comfort food. Mm-hmm. Comfort food is supposed to make you feel good when you're having a bad time. Well, it is Tess Holiday, so I guess she's having a bad time all the time.
Yeah.
I have to say this. At least Tess Holliday's book is not a stream of consciousness.
No, it is not. There was clearly there are some paragraphs that are run-on sentences, but other than that, spelling is correct.
Ray Stone says Tess Holliday once caught a kidnapper. She didn't realize it. The kidnapper was flabbergasted when the rhino drink didn't phase her and the police arrested them while they were stunned.
Oh, that's horrible.
And Sparky's asking, what's your issue? He lives in a trailer.
Yeah, I know you live in a trailer, Sparky, but you're also an Indian, so it kind of goes hand in hand.
At least she can run on with her writing. Oh, Ray Stone. That's horrible. How much more do you want me to read?
How much is the chapter almost over?
That
would be a no.
No.
Oh.
The chapter is quite a few more pages long. I'm on page 27. There's like 20 more pages to this chapter.
No, we are not reading 20 more pages. Oh, God.
I kind of figured you didn't want me reading 20 more pages.
Oh. Are you satisfied, Ben? Can we get back to what we're supposed to be doing? You bastard.
Ben, why don't you send a $5 Streamlabs? Let us know. Do you want more or do we stop?
The correct answer is stop.
The Streamlabs would be better because then it actually counts towards the ASMR goal.
Yes, you can get help pay towards ASMR and compensate poor Ishi for having to listen to this.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
Ray says, hey, I'm big myself, and since I've been sick, I've been missing my walks, but I'm getting winded going to the bathroom at work. I need to get off my own ass so I can mock her. Well, at least you admit it.
Dude, there's admitting it, and then there's that. She can't admit that she has a problem.
No, she's beautiful at all sizes.
No.
Like, if you... I mean... I made the joke in the video that I did last, which is funny that we're talking about Tess Holliday, about back titties.
Oh, back titties aren't the worst. Have you ever seen a fat camel toe?
Yes. It's not necessarily a camel toe as much as a moose knuckle.
Yeah. Or worse, if any woman ever wants to feel better about themselves, go to Walmart at like 3 a.m. if you have a 24-hour Walmart near you. You will see women, especially in the summer, wearing spandex leggings and tube tops that should not be wearing them.
I saw, and this is when I was still living in Southern California, so this tells you everything you need to know. I saw a woman walking through Walmart. She was Hispanic. She was a person of color. Basically, she was walking through Walmart. I literally stared at her as she was walking because I couldn't tell if the skin-tight leggings were her walking around without bottoms on or actually leggings. It stuck to every wrinkle and dimple in her ass.
Mm-hmm.
There was no seam.
It could be worse. In Chicago, I saw a woman who was fat, but she decided to wear Daisy Dukes.
No.
And it looked like the fat was eating the Daisy Dukes, so you couldn't see the shorts.
No. No. That's not good.
Ben wants to know if we can rename the show to Messing with Antoine.
No, we're sticking with MSNBC. So what did we end with? We ended with science, right?
Yes.
All right, so that means we're going... We already read cringe.
I closed down all of my articles.
You are also halfway of being 3 sheets to the wind. I didn't even give you that much.
Tired. And now I'm kind of numb in my nose.
You can't feel your nose?
Well, here.
It's kind of there. I feel it.
I didn't even give her that much. I gave her like 2 fingers.
Yeah, you didn't give me very much. I'm tired. It makes me more vulnerable.
He's saying...
Go ahead, Red.
Ben is saying, let's stop and rename the stream to Messing with Antoine.
No. Okay, so I'm taking one of your articles, Ren, because we're going to talk about it.
Go for it.
Did any of you hear about Rotten Tomatoes banning user reviews that weren't really reviews and comments before a film's theatrical release?
Yeah, I heard a little something about Rotten Tomatoes becoming more rotten than they already were.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems to me like a good idea. Is if a movie isn't out yet, don't fucking review it.
It wasn't a review.
It was a poll.
It was a poll saying if you wanted to go see the new Captain Marvel movie or not.
Oh.
And the last one that it broke records. It broke records. 76% of the people that took the poll did not want to see Captain Marvel.
Well, why?
Have you seen the trailers for it?
And
No.
have you heard Brie Larson at all?
Part of the things she said.
That she doesn't need as many white men reviewing the movies?
Fuck. God damn it.
Are you crocheting when drunk?
Yes, but that's not why I'm swearing.
Why are you swearing?
Gatorade bottle lid was not on all the way and it tipped over and it dribbled on my rug. I don't have a towel. Keep reading.
How are you this
tired?
She's almost hammered.
I'm not almost hammered.
There you are. So, from IndieWire, internet trolls will no longer be able to spam Rotten Tomatoes before a movie's release. Because whenever it's being pushed as hard as Captain Marvel is, and they want to push that narrative that it's a strong female lead, and... Wait, when did they do that before?
Wonder Woman!
Wasn't it recently that they, like a couple of years ago? Like 3 years ago that they did something like that? And the movie was just absolutely god-awful horrible?
I heard Wonder Woman was good.
No. I think he's referring to a 2016 thing that a bunch of fans don't want to ever admit.
Oh, the Ghostbusters bullshit.
Yes, they did the same exact thing. They started pushing this narrative that because it was women, it must have just been trolls that didn't like it.
Yeah,
maybe they just weren't good actresses.
Well, no. And even though the movie was so bad that if you bought the crappy Ghostbusters 2016 game, they were giving away the movie with the game.
That's how bad it was.
They had to get rid of the stock somehow. They couldn't pull an ET on it.
Well, apparently, they're trying to push the same narrative again.
Nobody learns.
No, they don't learn. They don't learn at all. But let's see what Zach Sharf.
I am not drunk, guys. Just a little buzz.
Ray Stone says she is so drunk as an
yeah,
SCW.
I'm seeing his puns there. Leave the puns to the professionals, thank you.
You can always do what I do. Start a tab for them. If they have enough bad jokes and puns, they have a tab they have to pay you.
All right, $5 a pun. I'll even fake laugh at it for you.
She's getting it. It's how you monetize everything.
Rotten Tomatoes is taking a major step in the fight against internet trolls. And apparently people who just have their own opinions about not wanting to see a shit movie. The company has announced a new initiative to modernize its audience rating system through a series of product enhancements. Meaning, they're going to take away the ability to comment and polls for user reviews.
I am not slurring, Sparky.
The first of which... What?
There's another cat one.
What?
I'll put it in the group.
Is it in... Where's the other cat one?
I'll give it. I'll share it.
No, you don't share it.
I'm sharing it to you. There you go. Cat twans are now popping up in my feed. I like this.
Kitty twans. Here, kitty, kitty.
Are you talking about the
Here, kitty, kitty,
the
kitty
Army of
twan.
Snarkness cat one?
No, there's another one that's in the group.
Here, kitty, kitty twan.
Kitty twans. They're multiplying everywhere.
Ray, why? Why, Ray? Why do you do this?
Because he wants to please boobs.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's easy.
And
It's
it's
nice.
the Cheshire Cat.
Well, that's the one. The other one's him is the orange tabby.
Yeah, I saw that one. That one was cute.
No respect. Swear.
Hey, he wants to please the one. And hell, I dressed up nice for tonight. I even put on my shorts.
You're not supposed to wear pants.
Shorts don't count as pants, and these ones are like Daisy Dukes, so I don't think they even technically count as shorts.
Pictures or no, it didn't happen.
You can see if you like.
Yeah, even Sparky says you're slurring.
I'm
See?
not slurking. I'm not slurring.
You sure?
See?
Those are.
Told you.
I got distracted by her shorts because those are some tiny shorts.
I told you.
Jesus.
I told you. I don't even know if these count as something count as shorts.
Those. You might as well call them underwear.
They're that. I love them because they're actually high waisted too, so I don't have to worry about this.
Oh,
so
even better.
yeah.
Cirque de Ishtar. Why is it Cirque de Ishtar?
Because you're
Depending
bobbing.
on me.
Because you're bobbing and weaving.
I'm not bobbing and weaving.
You're trying to weave.
Weaving requires entirely different apparatuses.
The first of which includes banning user reviews and comments prior to a movie's theatrical release.
No, actually, it requires a weaving loom and bobbing.
You're fired.
Okay, bye, everybody. Come on,
You're
Chili.
Getting rid of pre-release reviews and comments will help reduce the volume of internet assigning negative notices before a movie comes out. Earlier this month, Captain Marvel was the target of negative pre-release comments. Yes, because it was basically people saying they didn't want to go see the movie. Stop being a thin-skinned little snowflake and accept the fact that we don't want to have a feminist bitch pushing that they don't want white men going to see her movie. Maybe you should
That's
check
just
the
rude.
goddamn actress in what she's saying and don't piss off your audience.
And
Kind
Sparky
of need
saying,
the audience.
is she apparently according to Sparky, you need a sound pad.
I do not need a sound pad. That is the last thing I need.
No one needs a sound pad.
I agree with Antoine on that one.
Rotten Tomatoes is not banning user reviews and comments entirely, as that functionality will be available once the movie releases into theaters. However, getting rid of them before a film's release will help support healthier narratives as inclusive blockbusters like Captain Marvel gear up for release. You mean the narratives
It's
being
not
put...
inclusive if you're kicking out the white guys. Sorry.
Shh. Remember, white men don't count.
Yeah,
They're
No,
white
they
people.
usually count pretty good because they actually go to school.
Should we just give her alcohol before every show?
Yes, we should. I think her new requirement is the uniform plus she needs alcohol.
Okay, my uniform is dirty, so I have this one. Antoine's face, red on my boobs.
I'll be getting one of those soon.
Yep.
I'll join in on the uniform thing. And maybe I'll get the same one with Antoine's face right here, too.
Yeah.
Negative user interactions have already created a narrative around Captain Marvel in which sexist backlash must be overcome. It is being overcome. The sexism that is leeching off of Brie Larson is exactly what's being fought. The fact that she thinks it's okay to get on national news, on ET and shit like that, and say the things that she says without repercussions is not going to affect this supposed blockbuster fucking movie that is happening.
Yeah.
Can you hear the wind outside? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Especially, Antoine, if you think the point of Wonder Woman has a female lead. It's a female superhero.
Yeah?
I don't remember them doing this push of feminism.
No, actually, feminists fought against Wonder Woman because the Amazons were too scantily clad.
Yeah, but I also remember that did really good. And from what I heard, that was a really good film. It had a good plot. It had good... It had at least decent... It had decent acting and visuals.
The villain was kind of garbage. But other than that, it was a good movie. I saw it. It was very good. The action was amazing. The story was decent. It's just the villain was shit.
The villain was shit, but other than that, they didn't need to go to the... And they wanted the fans to come because they knew they had something good.
The only controversy that was stirred up because of Wonder Woman were two that I can remember. The feminists who were bitching and complaining about the Amazonian dress, and the theaters that decided to hold the sexist and exclusive
The women
only showings.
Okay, the point about the Womanzonian costume, specifically Wonder Woman's costume, I read a thing written by somebody whose mom was actually a Hollywood costume designer, and she was talking about how it was actually based off of Roman methods of making armor. That's why it looks like it has leather strips and stuff, and why it's got that little fringe at the bottom. That's actual Roman design. It's all historically based.
That doesn't matter. They
Yeah,
were too scantily clad on the tropical island.
Roman guys and Greek guys fought naked. Fuck off.
Yeah, where was that in the Amazonian womenhood? Plus the rampant lesbianism that was always around. Where was that in the movie?
Antoine, you're thinking Wonder Woman the porn.
Oh, damn it.
I already said that.
Let's base this on facts of what Wonder Woman was designed as. Wonder Woman was originally in the Justice League the fucking secretary. On top of that, the creator of Wonder Woman was so into BDSM, he was constantly putting her up in positions where she was getting tied up, handcuffed, and basically thrown into bondage gear.
Hey, it's because every woman, if they're smart, likes to be tied up and spanked on an occasion.
I volunteer as tribute.
We'll deal with that later.
We can both volunteer.
Okay.
It's fun.
So, in the case of Captain Marvel, the negative pre-release comments were entirely unfounded, as the movie has not yet screened outside of select press screenings in New York and Los Angeles, except that they weren't reviews. It was a poll asking if they wanted to go see the movie or not. They never get this right. Critics who have seen the movie have mostly raved about it, as seen in the film's strong first reactions.
What are you giggling about?
Check group chat. There's
Yay!
more.
Good night, Ben.
See you later, Ben. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do have enough in the ropes and chains department for a twofer.
Apparently we've been Apparently, we're really misbehaving there, Ishi.
Yes.
Over the past few years, Rotten Tomatoes has been evolving into a robust movie and TV show recommendations platform and celebrates the views of professional critics and fans
Who
alike.
never like anything.
No, they
Anything
like
good anyway.
They like what they're told to like. Like the new Doctor Who. If you go and check,
Yeah.
the new Doctor Who is almost universally agreed as one of the best Doctor Who's of all time. Fan ratings says it's one of the worst Doctor Who's of all time.
I haven't seen it, so I have to see it to make my own judgment as a hot Doctor Who fan.
This is also
Jody?
the same. This is also the same website that deleted any negative reviews of Black Panther for the first 2 weeks of its release.
That's just rude.
That is just rude, especially since Black Panther was just
Mediocre at best.
the Minion put it as boring.
I wouldn't call it boring, but I would
Well,
say it's
Minion-
mediocre.
The Minion is a white male, so he doesn't get an opinion.
Yeah, he's not woke enough. None of us are woke enough to appreciate Black Panther in all its majesty.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
nothing.
his skin-tight suit and his sexy body.
Skin tight suit can go. Just go shirtless.
Well, they have to pretend to make it a hero movie.
Oh wait, here's the kicker. Here's the kicker of this whole article. This next little bit. It's views of professional critics and fans alike, and encourages discussion and debate.
Debate of what?
Well, since they're getting rid of negative comments, I guess it would be debating on how great these woke movies really are comparatively to the trolls that are somehow attacking them.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Guess what? My rug's done.
Yay!
I finished my rug.
You finished your rug.
Yes, you did.
Rotten Tomatoes executive Ara Nalbandian said in a statement, "We continue to invest in our product to deliver useful and relevant resources for fans and are in development of new tools to help fans express their opinions and connect with others. Unless they're negative opinions on woke movies that are supposed to be groundbreaking that no one's going to want to see."
I'm happy.
It's pretty.
Thank you. It needs to be blocked. Then it'll lie flat and it'll be lovely.
You are sloshed.
I'm not sloshed. I'm tired and I'm buzzed.
Additional changes taking effect immediately include a streamlined user interface that positions the audience score adjacent to the Tomatoes score. Rotten Tomatoes says this change will give users easy access to compare and contrast critics' and fans' views of movies and TV shows without confusion. Additionally, the fan want-to-see score is switching from a percentage to a raw number that will be tallied in real time.
So what does that mean, raw number?
It means it's going to show how many likes and dislikes.
Actually, they removed any thing for saying dislike. Now, if you go, it just says want to see. So, like is your only option.
Well, that's kind of a biased statement then, isn't it? Because that doesn't say anything. If 70,000 people want to see it, it just looks like, yeah, 70,000 people want to see it. That could go against the 6 billion that don't want to see it.
Well,
But no one will ever know because they can't say it.
And think of it this way, Antoine, for the ultimate Rotten Tomatoes thing. Alita Battle Angel, that movie that the internet's buzzing about, going, oh my god, this is good,
Yeah.
has a 94% like from the audience. So, pretty high up there. The audience loves
How
it.
much for the critics?
59%.
Yeah, of course.
See, they don't like anything.
Something that I've heard over and over again from people I talk to. Oh my god, it's good. Oh my god, it's good.
Just
They-
ask Sparky. We couldn't get him to shut up about it.
Have you seen the new picture of Sarah? Wren?
I believe so. Is that the new one on the shirt?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Okay, so Wolf, the guy who did it, said that he had just finished watching an Alita Battle Angel trailer.
Mhm.
He was working on it. So, that's cool.
The connection of your story is not there, Ishtar.
Sure it is. We're talking about Alita Battle Angel and how it was good, and thus it inspired an artist who made a kick-ass picture of Sarah.
May I also point out?
It's not hard to follow.
Yes, I can follow it. Rotten Tomatoes also rates Star Wars: The Last Jedi at 91% for critics.
Wait, say that again?
So bad.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi, the Rotten Tomatoes score, not the audience score, the critics score is 91%.
Of course it is. What's the fan score?
44%.
Yeah, that's the real
That's
score.
more accurate.
If I go down, they only put. We're going to the original trilogy here. The original trilogy for audience score is going in order 96%, 97%, and 94% for the original trilogy, what fans say.
Mm-hmm.
What do the critics say on those?
93%, 95%, and 81%.
So about the same.
But they're putting The Last Jedi and basically the new trilogy. They're putting that on par with the original trilogy.
Well, it's okay for them to be wrong.
The only thing they're right on is the prequels. Those have kind of low scores, but they're prequels. Episodes 1, 2, and 3, the movies from the 90s that we thought would be the only worst Star Wars films ever out there until the new trilogy came out and proved us wrong.
They're just trying to figure out who can make a worse Star Wars trilogy.
They're trying to kill it.
They're trying to kill it, and we want Lucas back.
Lucas is retired, laughing and going, pfft.
I know. But when we want Jar Jar Binks back, you know it's bad.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Would you rather have Jar Jar Binks or Rey?
Jar Jar Binks.
Neither?
You have to choose one.
I don't want to choose one. I abstain from this vote.
Hey, if you
can't abstain.
If you choose Jar Jar Binks, you can at least go with the fan theory and the one that Lucas actually said would have been true, which is that Jar Jar Binks is actually a Sith. So if you keep that in your head, he's actually a Sith Lord trying to fuck everything up.
Then Obi-Wan and Anakin were the worst Jedi ever.
No one's arguing
because
this.
they spent an entire movie running around with that annoying little shit. They should have sent something from him.
Or Jar Jar was just the best Sith ever.
I don't know. We're not going to get into
Don't mess with her booze-addled mind, Wren.
Oh, that's what I'm best at, though. I'm messing with Will's booze-addled minds.
Antoine,
What?
can I have some more booze?
No.
Aw.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to be calling it tonight. It's just about that time. So, we had Florida Man ripping a dog's tail off.
Boo.
We had a Florida Man beating a coyote with a coffee cup.
I still think it was Vin Diesel.
We also had a 12-year-old creating a nuclear fusion device in his bedroom.
Yep.
And we also found out that the left can't leave anything alone. And the most benign hobby of all times is racist. We also coined a new term, niggers. The K is silent. So, it's been a very weird night. We also appeased Ben Cooper for reading the goddamn Tess. Are you reading more of that on your own channel?
I will be.
Okay.
It's going to be part of Saturday if you want to come on.
I would rather shoot myself.
You can't do that.
I love Shitlords Anonymous, but I cannot deal with two horrible books at the same time.
No, not even if I play R2D2 Bird.
Not even if you play R2D2 Bird. I know R2D2 Bird is a fan favourite. Tess Holiday would eat the R2D2 Bird as an appetizer.
Ishi, you should look up R2D2 Bird.
I've seen R2D2 Bird. I was watching Shitlords Anonymous. I
True,
saw
you have.
R2D2 Bird. It's adorable.
It is adorable.
So, yes, I think I plan on going out of town on Saturday.
You can't.
No, come on.
So, this has been MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I have been joined by two amazing co-hosts, the lovely Wren from Wrenelations and Shitlords Anonymous this Saturday, where she is going to be reading more of the Tess Holiday book, so go get your brain melted. And also, Ishtar from her own Twitch stream, and also Army of Snarkness, where she plays Sarah. And she's pretty hammered right now, so that's all she's got.
I'm not hammered. I'm buzzed.
You can keep saying that all you want.
I'm not slurring.
The chat knows differently.
Chat just likes to think of me as drunk and vulnerable for whatever kinky fantasies they have going on.
You're probably not wrong. So,
Nope.
That's going to be it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, if you want me to do that ASMR video, you have 11 days, donate on Streamlabs, and we'll see if we can hit that goal. So, thank you for watching, and we will see you all next time.